In this episode, we'll be looking at something that is the nuts and bolts of your ideas, the means to an end and the food for your culture. Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, in this episode, we'll be unraveling the topic of strategy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are, and welcome back to the latest episode of the My Coach Ben podcast. So, as usual, before we continue, remember, if you like the content, please do like, subscribe, press the notification bell so you know when the next edition is going to be available, and of course, tell your friends and fam and colleagues, etc., and we can continue to grow the community together. And just before we start, just one point, if you don't know, this month, April, is International Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. And if you know anything about me, you know that I'm someone who cares about testicles, maybe for want of a better expression. Anyway, I'm going to go over that a bit later on towards the end of the podcast. So without further ado, let's get into it. Strategy, an interesting word, one that we often use and one that is sometimes misused. The question is strategy actually a necessity, or is it just corporate fantasy and a bit of a buzzword? Well, we're going to find out. As usual, we're going to start with a definition. And here I have the definition as contained in the Oxford English Dictionary. Strategy, a noun, a plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall aim. Time to develop a coherent economic strategy, said the Chancellor of the UK. Shifts in marketing strategy is another example. Second, a mass noun, the art of planning and directing overall military operations and movements in a war or battle, often contrasted with tactics. He was a genius when it came to military strategy, so this one we're going to skip. So from that we can glean that strategy refers to a plan of actionable steps developed within the purpose of meeting an important goal or objective, typically defined by setting forth steps or tactics needed in order to attain the desired results, something we covered in the last episode. And strategies are widely employed across businesses and various fields in order to guide decision making and resource allocation decisions. This is also applicable for personal endeavours as well, such as career moves or changes, buying a house, for instance, or a car. Sometimes having a strategy is going to help in ways that we often don't think about. In the workplace, here are 5 questions that can help you set about reaffirming your business or personal strategy. Remember, these are in no particular order. So, set clear goals, as I just mentioned before, is something that we covered in the last episode. Therefore, creating specific and measurable objectives to guide strategic decisions and actions within your organisation. Assessing your environment, so understanding all the internal and external factors which could have an influence over the success of your strategies, and that includes market trends, competition, organisational strengths and weaknesses. Encouraging creativity, and this is a very important one. So fostering an environment of creativity is conducive to innovation among team members in order to really develop an innovative and cost-effective strategy where needed, and something that's going to stand the test of time, of course. Another one we mentioned in goals, review and adjust. So review the progress of the strategic initiatives regularly and be willing to make necessary tweaks and modifications that may be required so that they remain pertinent and, most of all, useful. And last but definitely not least, remember, communication is absolutely key. So make sure every one of your team understands the strategic direction and role they need to play in effectively executing it. And if you don't have a team, it's always important to make sure that you yourself know which role you play and the others around you in order to execute the strategies. Because remember, teams are nothing without an individual. And from the coaching perspective, this is something that is often a big topic in coaching, whether it's going to be management or aspiring managers or people just starting out on their career path. Strategy is absolutely vital. It's good to have a plan of action as to how you want to chart your move or your progress as things go along. So here are 5 questions from the coaching perspective that you can employ and maybe help you to think about whether or not strategies are working and how they can be improved. Do the existing objectives and goals for the business align with the overall medium and long-term strategy? Do you understand your target market and competitive environment well enough in order to successfully position yourself within them? Are your strategies generating the desired results, and can they be measured and tracked effectively? Are there emerging trends or technologies in your industry that you can maybe adopt that can help you to have a competitive advantage? And again, last but not least, how well are you taking advantage of all your resources and capabilities to implement your strategy? And are there any areas for efficiency or collaboration improvements, perhaps? So from the coaching perspective there, we can see there are many angles you can look at to ensure that your strategy is robust, whether this is going to be communication, whether it's going to be technology, whether it's just going to be whether or not there are competitive advantages that can help you fulfill your strategic endeavors. So in summary, of course, strategy is vital. And it is a necessity. It's not something which is just a corporate buzzword. It is something that you can use not just in corporate life, but also in personal life, just to help you help to give you a kind of high level view of where you want to go. There is an expression that many people seem to use these days, and they say, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." Well, of course it does, but I would urge you to remember also, you are what you eat. So bear that in mind when you're considering whether or not strategies fit your overall culture going forward. And before I wrap up, I'd just like to make a quick mention about the International Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, as I mentioned. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, which is a link which is from the Movember event, and it's something that goes on actually all year round. And this is where they're basically telling you how to check your pair if you don't know already. So if you do, hope you're doing it on a reasonably regular basis, if you know what I mean. And if you're not, then make sure that you do, because the earlier these things can be detected, then of course the more chance there is that it can be successfully dealt with and cured. So that's it from me for this time. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks very much for stopping by. It's very much appreciated. Remember, as I said before, if you like the content, please do like, subscribe, and press the notification bell. And you can follow the blog, of course, which is on Facebook, Instagram, and X. So until next time, stay safe, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and you never know, my voice might even be back to normal by then as well. So be good and take care. And until next time, your Coach Ben.